Pan Am team record in winning the gold. And that brings us to tonight, the final night of the women's team competition. The results after the compulsories find the United States on top by 2.725 over Cuba. Brazil is in the third position. Remember now, the compulsories count 50% toward the team total. Canada is in fourth, Argentina and Mexico to follow. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender along with Kathy Johnson and Bart Connor. Kathy, the American women tonight seeking their 10th gold in 11 Pan Am games.
The Americans have a substantial lead after compulsories. I'm not going to say that nobody can catch them because in a sport like gymnastics, anything can happen, but it's highly unlikely. They would have to completely miss two events, and the Cubans would have to be outstanding. Stephanie Woods was superb in the compulsory, posting the highest score of the day, 9.875 on the beam. 1988 Olympian Shelley Stack was solid throughout. And Woynerowski, the junior national champion, she had a fall on the balance game. But I have a feeling she's going to come back and be very exciting to watch tonight.
Well, you can hear the crowd in the background. Bart, my question is it going to be like last night?
Well, last night was certainly one of the wildest gym meets I've ever seen, and it looks like it's going to be that way tonight as well. It's interesting. We talked to the U.S. coach, Tony Gaiman. We said, what are you saying to the U.S. girls about how to deal with this crowd? And he said, although the crowd will be cheering primarily for the Cubans, for the U.S. girls to draw on the energy in the building and hopefully use it to motivate themselves. We'll see if they can do it.
Let's go to the action now. Brazil, United States, Canada, and Cuba. They are on the floor, and that's part of the standing room only, should say sitting room only crowd. They are packed in here, an enthusiastic group. They'll have 4 rotations here in the optionals. A battle for the team gold. And the United States, as we mentioned, right now with a decided advantage. This young Cuban women's team, though, the charisma they have, they're really fun to watch. Benitez is now chalking up as she's getting ready for the high bar routine. Georgina Benitez out of Havana. She hopes to be in the Olympics in 1996 when they go to Atlanta.
Georgina had a little bit of trouble on the compulsory routine on the uneven bars. And she's one of the weaker gymnasts on this event in terms of physical strength. But she opens nicely with her first release move, a reverse hecht. Giant swing with a full pirouette right into a tuck double back flyaway. Ooh, a big step on the landing. But much better than her compulsory routine the other day. And this is really nice to see the Cubans coming back strongly on the uneven bars. This is where they really had trouble in the compulsory. 3 major mistakes from that team on this event.
In fact, Benitez was 9.15. 9.15 in the compulsory.
She made a good transition down to the low bar, worked back up to the high bar. Her giant swings are very powerful. You'll notice in her double back dismount, her legs are apart a little bit, and she takes a little bit of a step on the landing, just a couple of tenths of point, but she was excited about getting through that exercise.
I really love watching them compete. They look like they have so much fun, and they're the same in practice.
United States is on the vault on the far side of the floor, and Juliet Bangerter with a 9.375. Hilary Anderson a 9.325. We're going to come back. We'll be bringing you this action in rotation number 1. 4 rotations here in the women's optionals for the team gold. Night of the women's team competition. They led by about 2-7 when we began the night. They've lost 6/10 of that lead to Cuba, Brazil in third, and Canada in fourth. Let's go back to the first rotation now on tape and watch Stephanie Woods in the vault.
This was Stephanie's second vault. So Yurchenko laid out with a full twist. Watch the beautiful form. Straight body line. Good height off the horse. And a good landing. Now in women's gymnastics, you can do 2 vaults, and the best of the 2 count. She scored a 9.8.
9.8. That was the best score in the first rotation. As far as Cuba's concerned, Leonette Gonzalez had a 9.6 on the high bars. This is Hilary Anderson getting ready to go live now on the high bar.
It's amazing Hilary's here competing at all. Her father passed away a couple of months ago, less than a couple of months ago, and she has dug in and really focused her attention back on her gymnastics and has been doing a great job for the U.S. team.
The Americans had some trouble on the uneven bars in the workout sessions. Getting used to these bars, they're a little bit different. They're very bouncy. And the timing is just a little bit off. So the first couple of routines up, especially Stephanie Woods, who went up first, scored a 9.1. Had a break in the routine, but managed to cover pretty well.
Well, the judging has been taking forever at this competition. Don't you hate standing up there and waiting to go?
I think this is the worst I've ever seen it, Bart. I've been stuck in this situation, waiting for the judges, but every single routine. Hilary has nice form. You can see good toe point, legs straight. Here's her first big skill, full pirouette, right into a reverse hack. Good strong swing into a double twist and flyaway. Nice routine, not stocked full of difficulty, but she had the nice release move in the beginning and a pretty double twist at the end.
Hilary in her first international competition as a member of a U.S. team, 17 years old.
All the gymnasts have had trouble adjusting to the bars because they're very springy. The U.S. team was all over the place the first couple of days in practice, but Hilary really dug in. This full turn over the top, right to this move called a Tkachev. A reverse hex back over the bars. Done perfectly.
Competing so well in this competition. I love the dismount. She has clean form. Watch it. 2 twists and a good landing.
And Woynerowski now ready to go. The junior national champion for the United States at 14 years of age.
This is a very exciting routine to watch. She has a skill early on in the routine. It's a reverse hex, but she goes in the other direction. A little more unusual.
14 years old. This is such a young team for the United States. She's a little nervous about this competition. She said that before we began.
I'd say so. She is nervous, but she's also very focused on this. She is a tough competitor, and she really wants to do well here.
Hilary Anderson with a 9.675.
Americans are really coming back now on the bars. And here comes that combination. She does a giant full pirouette into a half pirouette. Here it comes, right here. Reverse hex the other way. That's pretty. A back up rise. And a pike double back dismount. Excellent routine. It's nice to see, Bart, because in the 30-second warm-up just prior to competition, like you said, they were all over the place. Makes you a little nervous. I'm sure it made them nervous.
This move that she does early on in her routine is unique in that, first of all, she's terrifically talented, but it's also possible only because she's 4 feet 8 inches tall. She does a giant swing with a full turn here. The second one is with a half turn, and she comes back against the low bar, and here's where she does this reverse hex. Well done.
We've said this before in our programs that now the uneven bars go so far out that only being 4 feet 8 inches tall allows her to swing through almost like she's on the men's high bar without hitting the low bar. Here's the dismount. Nice piked position in the air and just rocks the landing.
So the U.S. women here on the uneven bars have scored 2.9675. That's the best. Gonzalez for Cuba at a 9.72 in the beam.
Oh, my dog Shady.